Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Triathlete Podcast. I'm your host, Ram. And as you can see, I'm in a new location today because it's a very exciting episode. I have today guests from the Huski Tri Club, Jeron and Noah. We're going to be doing today's show in two segments. First, we have Jeron and Noah with us, and later we're going to be joined by Elizabeth and Jaimi. Super excited to have you all here. Would you like to start by introducing yourself, folks?
Yeah, I guess I can go first. So my name's Jaron. I'm the current vice president of the Huski Tri Club, and I got started with triathlons pretty early. I lived in Juneau, Alaska for a few years when I was younger, and in the elementary school I went to, in fourth and fifth grade, there was an opportunity for like a student triathlon club, and so a lot of my friends were doing it, so I joined in fifth grade, where we kind of ran and swam before school and did like one bike ride a week after school, kind of pretty short practices. And then we kind of later on in the spring, we traveled to Sitka, Alaska to do a kind of modified indoor-outdoor triathlon as a club. And it was just like a super, super fun experience. I had a lot of fun with my friends. And then I moved away pretty soon after that, but kind of just stuck with it. So I've been doing it for a long time and it's been super fun. So it's kind of
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm Noah. I am the treasurer of this triathlon club. I mainly come from like a swimming background. I swam a lot, club, and then also just high school team. So I have that. I have like the running a little bit from like the dry lands that they would put us through. Biking did a little bit, but not a ton. So I came here. I started most of the triathlon stuff here. I still haven't done a triathlon yet. Aiming to do one, but I am from LA, so I have to like move back there, and then like most of the triathlons that happen in Seattle are during the better, like warmer weather season. So we're still working on that, but yeah, it's a super fun time.
Fantastic. Well, that's the spirit we celebrate here. People who just want to try to be fit, and both of you all are very much representative of that. So I don't know much about Alaska, but swimming in Alaska, are you swimming in ice?
I know I do have a lot of connections to the kind of main triathlon training group in Juneau, Alaska still. And they do some of their training outdoors. There's like one lake that is, I believe, glacier fed, but so it's a cold lake, but they do a lot of their swimming, like thick wetsuits, stuff like that. Only certain times of the year. Most of the rest of the year, it's mostly just indoor pool swimming. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. Yep. And so when you started with college, Noah, did you try out other sports as well? And was the one you went into directly?
I personally have always tried to be a little bit forced to be athletic as a kid. My parents were like, "You're going to swimming," and that's the one that kind of like stuck as opposed to like the rest of the sports, or like baseball or football. I was like an offensive lineman for tackle football for a while. And I was smaller than this. So I stuck with swimming for a while, and then I came down the IMA. I remember freshman year, I think for a roller skating event that got like overbooked because it's now like booked every Friday. So I went to the gym like to wait before it started, and I saw this club thing, and I walked around, and then met Huski Triathlon Club. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. I can do running, sort of, and I like biking and swimming, so like, I'll try it out, and I've been doing it ever since, and then I joined leadership, I think, like the next year, and it's been super fun.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah. So what keeps you motivated to continue practicing and keeping at it?
I mean, me personally, I love swimming, I always enjoy it. I mean, you enjoy what you're good at, but I also really do enjoy swimming. It's like I can kind of like get out of my own headspace. It's awesome. Running, it's more of a difficulty. I'm learning to love it. I gotta get better at it slowly and condition my body to not like start failing immediately once I run past a certain threshold. And then for biking, I had always biked like a little bit like mountain biking sort of thing. My neighborhood had hills, but then like actual road biking, I didn't really experience until I started here. It's awesome. I love it. I love like going fast down hills and like be able to control where I'm going and like keep up speed and go fast. It's an experience I've never actually felt before. And can't like replicate any like other sports. Like it's super awesome.
Nice. What about you, Jaron?
Yeah, I'm definitely kind of overall. I'm a very competitive person, so I definitely really like the racing aspect of triathlons and stuff. I do probably at this point probably anywhere between 5 to 7 triathlons a year, which is a lot of triathlons. So kind of like I said, I'm a really competitive person and I really enjoy that aspect. I like going fast past people, stuff like that. But then kind of outside of the racing, I really just love like exploring new areas, and so kind of I can do that through swimming, biking, and running, especially like the biking portion. Like at this point, I've probably biked a significant portion of Seattle and kind of gone through all of the kind of pretty parks and stuff like that. So it's definitely very freeing to be able to kind of use my own body as opposed to kind of relying on public transit or my own car to kind of explore. And same thing to a smaller extent with running. Like there's a lot of like parks near UW that I would have never known existed if I hadn't like started running. I occasionally go to like the Husky Run Club, and so a lot of their routes go through like the public parks, and so kind of getting that sense of kind of freedom, I guess, and
Interesting.
exploration. Yeah.
Fantastic. So is competitive Jeron like a thing in the club now? Does everybody know about it, or?
I kind of came in being super competitive. And so just because I've been doing it for a long time, I know kind of a lot of tips and tricks for as like especially racing. I didn't grow up really biking at all, so I'm kind of lagging behind in a lot of the biking stuff. Like there's a lot of people way more experienced with biking and all the technicalities of that. But as opposed to like kind of a triathlon as a whole and racing, especially like things like transitions and stuff, I feel like I kind of bring a lot more kind of knowledge to the team, and I can help people who haven't ever raced before. Yeah,
Excellent.
Do that, so.
Yeah, that really resonates with one of the guests on my earlier episode who had mentioned that, in a triathlon, you just need somebody who's 2 steps ahead of you. You don't need an actual professional to help you. And that's true with most casual sports, I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody who's a little more experienced, it builds a relationship, and it helps. So yeah, but what about you, Noah? Have you seen Jeron be competitive, and have you learned something from him?
It was fun watching Jeron go, because Jaron's just fast at most things, like realistically. Like he'll say he's not the fastest bike, but he's up there. He's up there for sure. I mean, I love swimming because I'm kind of like, yes, finally, my forte, let's go. And then I like started helping people like kind of going into that sort of like coaching angle of swim, being kind of one of the members of the Tri Club that knew more about swimming, like technique sort of stuff. You don't need a ton for triathlons, as I've been told. Like, kind of need to be able to go and keep endurance and stuff of that nature, but like flip turns if you need it to like continue to go off the wall fast, or like make sure you're not over rotating on stuff, because I have, and it hurts and it sucks. My main stroke was backstroke, so use like my shoulders are screwed. But yeah, so it's like learning that sort of technique stuff, and then be able to like replicate and teach that back into other people.
Interesting. Yeah, I should probably hit you guys up for some tips, because I'm dealing with a shoulder injury from swimming right now, and I've been sort of not been able to swim for about a month, and my first try is coming up June 1st this year. So, fingers crossed, trying to get back in shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, let's come to the community aspect of it, right? How has the community at Huski Tri Club been for you all? Jeron, first?
I definitely really enjoy, especially like all the group practices. So kind of the key one being the group spin classes at the IMA, which stands for Intramural Activity Center at UW. For those that aren't familiar, but basically on Thursdays we have a group spin class, and we try to be like really creative with our workouts. Like Noah and Jaimi, who you'll talk with later, are like super good at like taking movies and creating a spin workout off of that. And it just makes it super interesting. Sometimes we have like visuals on a slideshow to go with the spin, and we usually have pretty like themed music. And so it's just kind of a place where kind of everybody can go at their own speeds, own effort levels, and kind of all have fun and talk and everything. So that's super helpful, especially for building a community. And then like all the other practices, so like the 2 group rides on Saturdays, and our track practice, and recently our swim have kind of, it just like really helps you to like have people to talk to when you're doing these workouts, as opposed to just trying to get it all done on your own. It can just be kind of difficult, especially during the winter when it's rainy and cold outside, to kind of motivate yourself to I guess get out there and kind of train, because the season's coming up, even though you really don't want to. So
Yep.
definitely just having people to train with, and like even on the days that we don't have like official group practice, you can always reach out in our like club group chat and see if anybody else wants to go for a run or a bike ride or something. And usually there'll be somebody that's willing to go with you or something. So it's
That's
super
great.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, buddy workouts have been transformational for me too. Just having somebody to keep you honest, even if it's a bad workout. So I
For
totally,
sure.
totally understand. What about you?
Yeah, someone comes from like a swimming background. It's a very solitary sport. Like there are swim teams, but like it's a solitary sport through and through. So kind of coming here, it's awesome. I have so many stories of like group rides or like spin practices. I think I did Mamma Mia. I went through I like planned an entire workout with like a slideshow and everything on like different ABBA songs. One of our fellow officers, Audrey, did recently like a spin workout on like Six the Musical, which is like one of my favorite musical. And I was just like, it's a fun little vibe. It's also one of my favorite ones because there's not like a fear of like being dropped or being left behind. As someone who originally on bike rides was that person, it's awesome to be, and now thankfully is no longer. We've improved. It's kind of good to be able to like have everyone together, just being able to enjoy the workout, also do the workout without fear of being like, I need to make sure I am at the right pace with the right group and stuff like that.
Got it. So interesting. Movie themed biking workouts. That's a first. I haven't heard of that before. Who came up with that?
I think it was Jaimi. Jaimi came up with it first. I'm gonna let her talk about it more because it was her idea. But I think her first one.
I think it was Lord of the Rings.
It was Lord of the Rings. That's
Wow.
what it was.
Interesting.
You learn how many hills are in Lord of the Rings very quickly. There's like one downhill section the entire movie.
Interesting.
Not a lot of flats. So we started with that, and then Jaimi kept building up more and more after that, like different movies. And then I started doing them, and then like other people started spinning off of that. Jeron did a like choose your own adventure story spin that was fun with like picture visuals. It was like a really good time.
Interesting.
We have fun. It's a good time.
I mean, I'd imagine Lord of the Rings would be a lot shorter if they had bikes.
True.
They might have reached the top of the hill
A little bit
kind of
faster.
sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. So coming to the season now, like what part of the season are you in? What races are you guys practicing for and looking forward to?
Yeah, I guess I'll take this one off. So this upcoming weekend, there's 6 of us from the team going down to just south of LA to do the collegiate club national championships. So that's kind of our first race of the season. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 races kind of in the Pacific Northwest that are kind of roughly around this time of year. I don't think we're as a team we're not doing any of them just for logistical reasons. So kind of after this first like big national championship, our next race as a club will be the Victoria Half Ironman, which I think everybody that's going to that is a bit more kind of experienced racers because half iron is not a great distance for beginners. But then like the week after that race is kind of our big like first time racing race, I guess, which is our like Pacific Northwest Club Conference or whatever.
Interesting.
Which is down in Oregon. So hopefully we'll get quite a few like our freshmen or people who haven't ever raced before. When if people are free, we'll try to get as many people to go down to that race as we can. And then we've got a few more races throughout the summer that we're going to kind of hopefully get a good number of people out to race. But I guess kind of going into that for like our racing season, we don't require people to race. It's kind of a, hey, it'd be really fun if you did, but we don't, like some people don't have bikes. Some people don't really want to travel for races or stuff like that. So it's definitely understandable. But especially for the races that we choose to do as a team, we try to like sell it that it's like a really good way for new racers to come in knowing that they'll have people who already know how to race and can help you like walk you through how to set up transition, kind of what race strategies, like how you want to take off your wetsuit, stuff like that. So like, and it's also just kind of carpooling and just having people to travel with, because a lot of these races are at least 2-3 hours away, just because I don't know, few and far between the Pacific Northwest, just due to like, I mean, water's cold and differing like race courses and everything. So, yeah, just a lot of carpooling and just spending
Yeah.
time with everybody. Occasionally we'll just like stay at somebody's house who's not like from Seattle. They have, I think Elizabeth, who's our club president. She's originally from like down by Vancouver, Washington, and so there's quite a few like races down in the Portland area. So we've stayed at her parents' house a few times,
Nice.
just to kind of not have to drive super super early in the morning, which just helps like team bonding, I guess. Just to
Yep.
kind of spend a good amount of hours kind of driving, staying the night with your other teammates. So.
Sounds like fun. So, as a competitive guy going for college nationals, what's your target?
We'll kind of see. I know there's gonna be a lot of really fast people at this race, which is really exciting. I really like the challenge. I don't know. We'll kind of see. It's gonna be a really long drive. So we'll see how much sleep we get. See how much how like actually prepared we are race morning. So I don't really have super high hopes for this race just because it's kind of really really early in the season. I'm an engineering student, so I have a lot of schoolwork that I need to do. I'm still getting quite a bit of training done, but not as much as I have like middle of the summer in the past years when I haven't been working full time. So we'll kind of see. I'm hoping to go as best as I can. I've been swimming a lot, biking a lot, running a lot too. So I feel like physically pretty good and in shape. So we'll just kind of see where we're at. Hopefully everything goes good. But I'm not going to be super upset if things don't go according to plan. So.
Well, good luck to you and the team. We're always rooting for the Husky Tri team, so you'll have our positive juju coming your way.
Appreciate it.
What about you? What events are you looking forward to?
I haven't done a triathlon yet, and super stoked to do one. I've always had the issue of I go back to LA, which is where I live for at home during the summer, and that's when most of the things pop up. Like for example, I'm going on vacation during the one right before graduate, like right after graduation. Sorry, not graduate. Graduation for people for seniors. End of the school year. And so there's that sort of issue of like I'm not physically here for those ones. I've been trying to like work out and kind of look up a couple ones that are kind of closer to home, maybe in the LA area, maybe somewhere close. Kind of still have to like get that motivation to go by myself and like learn how to do it myself. But there's also the issue of like getting an internship and like where am I gonna be over summer, which is still a little bit murky. So
Interesting.
I have to find all that stuff out, and then we're gonna go from there.
Interesting. Cool. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So one of the things on the show we like to stress with all our guests is, the attitude of showing up even when you don't want to do it is really tough to keep. You have to motivate yourself to keep going. So are there any instances that you can recall where you really didn't feel like training and you still made yourself sort of push through it?
Most track practices. That's not hyperbole. It is most of them. Most ones I got to. I try to love running. I really do. I try to get in the mindset of like earbuds in, like good pumped up music. I can run. My body doesn't want to. So I'm trying to learn how to do that. Trying to learn like also run on my own a little bit, just kind of keep up the thing. There's those. There's some early. I used to do 7:30 bike rides. Try to get back into those, but like my body does not love waking up that early. I remember like going up to Discovery Park one time and there was snow. I'm like, it's like it was slush. I was like trying to turn, almost like fell completely over. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing today. So there are times where I'm like, this could be better. But it's a fun time. It's a fun time regardless. Track is fun, even if I'm not doing amazingly well. And every bike ride is fun. I now really do enjoy the bike rides, like seeing the sights. And actually, I can go a considerable distance at a considerable pace for a lot longer. Like I remember last year, like every spring or so, we go to Bainbridge. It's like a whole big group, and there's 2 routes. I remember leading it 2 weekends. We couldn't decide which weekend to do, and I remember getting a sunburn, not on purpose, but like I remember getting it from like leading the group. I had like my speaker out. It was a good time. I was like, and I didn't feel it the entire time. It's just a fun little time, just going around the island, that like whole like 50-mile little track around. It's super pretty. It's amazing. It's a good time.
Nice. What about you? What are the tough times in training?
Definitely the off season. So when it's cold and rainy. I as somebody who's super competitive, I usually train probably 6-7 days a week, which is more than some people, not as much as other people. But definitely when it's cold and wet and rainy, it's definitely pretty hard to kind of motivate myself to get out the door. I know there's definitely been a lot of times where I kind of like intend to leave at a certain time, and then like I don't actually leave till like an hour and a half after I intended to leave, and then I'm like rushed because I have like actual things I need to get done, and I like wasted an hour and a half trying to like find other small things to do to avoid doing what I was like intending to do. So it's definitely hard sometimes. Once the sun came out this spring, it's been way easier to get out the door,
True.
which is like so happy. I'm like, wow, it only took me like 5 minutes to get my shoes on today instead of getting distracted on my phone and wasting an hour. But yeah, it's definitely one of those where on the days that I don't have like scheduled team practices and everything, kind of it's definitely kind of a mind over matter where I just have to like force myself to put one foot in front of the other and get out the door. And then once I'm going for a while, it's usually okay. But the first, just like walking outside is probably the hardest part, to be honest.
True. Interesting. So, if you look at the trajectory of your participation in the club and, you know, how it's evolved, if you were to look back and just think about some of the key moments or key things that you feel proud of having achieved over the long term, any couple of things that you can talk about?
Yeah, I mean, biking is crazy. I remember thinking about this a little bit ago. So I'm a junior now. I've been in the club since freshman year. And freshman Noah on a bike was bad. There were so many bushes crashed into, so many sidewalks. I like almost a couple walls. Like it was not good. And now I don't do it. Almost never. There are a couple times where there's been a puddle, and I'm like, I'm gonna go through that, and then it's deeper than I think it is, and then the bike just tips forward. I'm like, cool, that's on me. That's fine. But no, yeah, I did a lot of 10 a.m.s freshman year, a lot of 10 a.m. bike rides. Sometimes just with Nico, who's one of the older members of the club who graduated, I think, last year, and it was just like a lot of just like keep going, and eventually you start to realize like, wait, I did that like 3 weeks, like a month ago, and like that was so much that it's just so much easier now. It's just the idea of like, I remember, I think it was like last year, I did 7:30 on Mercer. I was tired. The typical way we do Mercer, for the 7:30 group at least, when you do the longer Mercer loop, is you go like halfway to Seward, then go on the I-90, go around Mercer, then go back on the 520. I was tired. I go across the 520 bridge by myself, and I'm like, I wonder why no one's following me. And then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, no, I'm not supposed to go that way. So I then end up going by myself through Bellevue somehow, like mapsing off my phone at every stoplight, figuring out how to get there. Then go around Mercer Loop. I end up doing the entire thing backwards, apparently. Find the rest of the group halfway through. And then it's just, like, I remember that, and that was hard. Granted, you're not supposed to go that way, so it's not supposed to be that bad. But, like, I did Mercer, like, last Saturday, and I'm like, this is so much easier. It's like seeing that easier progress of, like, that I used to be, originally on bike rides, I used to be the person that you would have to wait up for. Like, a person would have to go back and, like help me get, not, like, go faster because I couldn't, but, like, watch me go forward. And then now I'm a person that's, like, leading people and also doing that. And, like, it's a weird sort of, like crazy mind change of, like, oh wait, that was me before. And I'm like, that's progress. Swimming, well, the pool didn't open for a while, so swimming has kind of been getting back into it. But like, once you do swimming, you know how to do swimming. If you do swimming in club, you're kind of there for a while. You kind of know what you're doing. It's getting back into shape in that nature. Running, it's been worse. It's still not amazing, but we're getting there. It's a slow and steady increase. You gotta keep doing it. You gotta not stop doing it. You guys gotta keep
Grind it out. Yeah.
putting effort into it. But yeah.
Nice. What about you?
Yeah, well, probably most recently, I was the race director for the indoor tri, which the club hadn't done since 2019, I think. So it had been a long time. I don't think very many, if anybody, from the club had actually been around the last time we did it. So I was mostly just kind of piecing everything together from like the records that when we've done it in the past. And I felt like it went pretty good, especially not having really anybody to like base it off of or like ask questions in person. I was just kind of dealing with a lot of like logistical stuff. So that's probably the thing that I'm the most proud of, just because we had a lot of people turn out. A lot of people who had never raced before from the club raced there. And then we also had kind of a really good show out from the team just in terms of volunteers. And it was kind of like a really good way for all the officers to work together for a lot of various aspects. Our like sponsorship coordinator was able to kind of get a lot of sponsorships to get like gear donations and everything, which was super helpful. But then kind of on a smaller scale, one of my friends who I'm now roommates with, he was a big runner through high school, did a lot of running last year, but I roped him into doing triathlons because I had a spare bike that he could use. And so I kind of roped him into doing that, and he's going to be one of the ones that's going down to the Collegiate Club Nationals next week. So we're all carpooling down for that, but definitely got him super excited in triathlons, and now he's kind of showing up to a lot of the club practices and is a pretty regular person that's showing up to the stuff. So that's definitely kind of on a smaller scale, kind of getting people who weren't into the sport kind of more excited and interested in it is definitely also
fantastic. I mean, yeah, so for the listeners who may not be aware, I met the team through the indoor tri that these folks had organized. It was super well organized, and kudos to you all for doing it. So I'm one of the beneficiaries of the indoor tri that they actually organized. And funny that you mentioned that it hadn't happened for a couple of years, because before the race started, I was talking to some of the other participants who I knew, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we had done this a couple of years ago, and then they just stopped, and we're so happy it's back in business." So there's a lot of love for the event, and I really encourage the team to carry it forward down the road, right? So it's a super cool event. Cool. So I think as a last question, what I'd love to hear from you all is, you all are the experienced seniors of the sport in UW. So what's your guidance to anybody who wants to try out the sport and might be feeling a little intimidated or whatnot?
Yeah. I think for me personally, you just gotta do it. I mean, you could say some like magical thing that could make you do it, but at the end of the day, it could be great. It could not be great. Some sports you'll like, some parts of it you'll like more. Like I came in as someone who's like loves swimming, and we have not gotten a pool opening till this year, officially. There was another pool, but then that thing shut down. So you can come in for something and like completely like rewarp your idea of it. Like I was never a humongous biker, and now I love it. It's awesome. I love being able to like feel the wind in the face, like the whole entire like speeding down the road angle. It's awesome. So you kind of have to do it. Take that like jump and leap into it, and just be able to just like embrace the suck and just go through it and just keep going. And also, it's good when you do it with people that you're friends with, because like I go to practice, it's very hard for me to work out on my own. Like it's very difficult because I'm like, we could be at home. It's warm. It's warm in there. It's warm and nice instead of outside when you're biking in the cold. And then I'm like, But you know what? This will make it easier when I do the next thing. And then also doing group practice, it's fun. We're all like there together. Like the camaraderie of it is really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. My recommendations would just be that kind of in especially racing, there's a really, really wide range of abilities. Like Noah was saying, people come into the sport with various different experiences in each of the three disciplines. And so kind of everybody's at different levels. And it's very like evident to see when you're racing, when you're practicing. One person might be really good at one sport and then not as great in the other two, or vice versa, or however it is. So everybody's different. So just like don't be afraid to kind of get started. You'll fall somewhere in the mix of everybody, and kind of I don't know. I just find it super fun to kind of be with a lot of other people who have similar interests in kind of the endurance sports, and yeah.
Cool. Well, I think on that note, it's a great place where we can end this segment. Jaron, Noah, it's been wonderful getting to know you all and have you all on the show. Thank you so much. Good luck for the season. And, to anybody out there, let's support the team. They're super exciting and, hopefully we'll win something.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
For having me.
Thank you.